Welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends and get your gaming goodness every week, 6 a.m. Australian, Eastern Standard, Daylight Time, whatever. I'm your host, Ash Hobley. Join me today, Kieran Marchant. Fucking.
No, you are.
Just
you
all
are
over the place.
flubbing this. You are flubbing this today. Dylan's not here. He's off on an adventure somewhere, and the wheels are fucking off the track here.
Yep. You know it's going to be a good one when it's.
Yeah, it's gonna be a top
It
one.
actually doesn't bother to edit it.
Woo! And he isn't like re-recording the intro like 3 times to get it right. Let's go.
No, I'll do that when Kieran's not here. On today's episode, Valve delivered an announcement about involving the number 3. It's not the one fans want. A new entry in the Horizon franchise, but it's not come to the console people think. And we discuss Dispatch now that all the episodes are now available. But kicking things off, we got our first look at the next Super Mario Galaxy movie with a brand new trailer, with a brand new direct, revealing Mario and Luigi and Peach and Toad returning with a minified Bowser going around the galaxy, I guess. It was revealed that Brie Larson will be playing Princess Rosalina and Benny Safdie will be voicing Bowser Jr. Kieran, I hope that you watched the trailer, and what do you think?
I did. I flicked through this the other day. Yeah, it looks like it kind of continues to build upon what they did with the first Super Mario movie. But I think there's still plenty more they can do. I'm interested just how well they use, as we talked about last time, like just how well they use the Galaxy IP or the Galaxy kind of setting. Is it, I don't know, version for this movie? But yeah, I think Brie Larson's good casting. I'm sure the internet loved it.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Like, for a start, I completely forgot how the last movie ended, and Bowser's like a mini version. They had a mini mushroom and got minified. That's cool, even though, I assume, Jack Black's voicing that, but it sounds nothing like Jack Black for the large percentage of the trailer.
It just sounds like Jack Black on helium.
I guess. Do you reckon he did take helium and then did record it, or did they pitched it?
I think it's just After Effects.
Pitched it in post.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of the imagery that you would expect from Galaxy. Like, obviously, you got that whole like gravity water planet that they shoot over, and the double star jump that Peach and Toad do. Of course, Princess Rosalina looks really cool, and like I've seen people point out, like those are some music cues from the game, and like she dashes the way that she dashes in Smash Brothers, and stuff like that. So that's all really cool. I'm surprised it's again coming so soon, like April. I think the last movie only came like 3 years ago, so pretty quick turnaround. We'll say Mario a bit of a dick in this trailer, right?
He is, but then also I think it's very like it's yeah. Mario's a bit of a thing. Is I've always thought Mario's a bit of a dick. I think Mario's always just like a bit of a weird guy. When it comes to Peach and everything. So
also he says Wahoo in the trailer. Do you reckon that was Chris Pratt doing Wahoo, or did they get Chris Martin in? Can you give us one last one? Because Chris can't nail it.
Pratt. I think it's Chris Pratt, and they know he can't nail him. Yeah.
But yeah, looks really good. Obviously, it is coming this April. Well, this coming April. Are you surprised? Obviously, at the end of the last movie, there was a tease of a certain little green dinosaur. No appearance here.
I think they're gonna. I don't know. I don't think they need to. This is the thing, right?
Would it be a bold move to not have him in this movie?
Yeah. Like, the thing is, right, Yoshi was... It feels like... This is the thing. It feels like at the end of the last movie, they hadn't quite worked out what they were going to do next, and they were like, we tried and true, we'll put in Yoshi here, because we'll most likely go on the kind of Mario road path. Like, we'll kind of... Because Yoshi was kind of the next iteration within the Mario franchise of bigger proportions.
And then they decided, let's do Mario Galaxy.
And then they're like, fuck it, we'll skip everything. Mario Galaxy. There's also, like, in this trailer, we saw the upside down pyramid from Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you're pulling from other stuff now as well.
You can't call the next one Odyssey, the Super Mario Odyssey movie.
Yeah, exactly, right? Even though, sure, they can just do it without playing into anything else. But yeah, I'm interested to see yeah, just how this plays out. Because I think we had a better idea going into the first one. We had a better idea of what the story was going to be. Have
Yes.
at this point, have just Luigi and Mario just move to the Mushroom Kingdom permanently? Is that where we're at? Or
I think it seems like it. Like they're giving up their
yeah,
day job and their lives in New York City,
mm.
just there chilling. You know. Yeah, it'll be interesting because, like, obviously, you know, you get the basic idea of like you could understand how Bowser's motives would affect the entire story in the first film from the trailers and that kind of stuff. Here we've got Bowser Jr. trying to rescue Bowser. What from
Which
there?
we should be cheering for him. Realistically,
Yeah, I mean, he's the hero. He's just trying to save his dad.
just wants to save his dad, guys.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Reading from a good friends over at Well Played. Valve has revealed a trio of new hardware items, including the Steam Machine, Steam Controller, and Steam Frame, all which are set to release in early 2026. Dropping the announcement of thin air, Valve has started our calm Australian morning with bombshell reveal of 3 new hardware items set to expand the Steam ecosystem in a big way. The trio of gaming dips is headlined by the Steam Machine, which is essentially Valve's answer to a console or living room gaming system. The Steam Cube is a compact form factor PC designed to run your entire Steam library of games, no matter where you plan to play them. The announcement trailer and Steam's website claimed that the box is 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck and targets 4K gaming at 60 frames per second, thanks to its onboard Steam custom AMD CPU and GPU, also by FSR upscaling. As far as input and output are concerned, the Steam Machine will feature a Gigabyte Ethernet port, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2, 1 USB-C, and 4 USB-A ports. The hardware will also offer 2 storage size options at launch, 512 gig and 2 terabytes. The little box will obviously run on SteamOS, making it look and feel like a Steam Deck, and will support streaming to other devices such as the Deck and Frame. To make purchase more easier, Steam will include a new option in its verification to label games as Steam Machine Verified. Oh, and if it wasn't already obvious, the Steam Machine is a PC, so you're welcome to run reports and just create spreadsheets on it when you're not playing ball pit. Kieran, what do you think of Valve bringing back the Steam Machine? I recall there being like a series of Steam Machines in the past.
There was there's been a couple iterations of this, maybe not exactly the Steam Machine, but wanting to do the same thing of almost slightly moving into the console market. I think this is off the back of the success of the Steam Deck and also the back of the success of the portable PCs, the handhelds now in the system. It's showing that the wider general public is now ready for this kind of device. Very big thing for us here in Australia. This is going to be available day and date, as well as the other products that they have released at the same time. Will be available in Australia day and date. We're not being made to wait 12 months like we have in the past because of previous issues Steam had with the Australian government. But on top of that, I think, like, I looked at this and went, "Oh fuck, you know what? This would be like something great for me to get for my dad. Like, this would be a great thing for me to get to that could get him onto the Steam OS, like to get him into the Steam
share all your games.
Yeah, I could just give him my library of games and share everything that way, and then, yeah, I think it's a good entry point. Like, I think it's funny because I think you hear people, especially now when people have come over to Steam via the Steam Deck from their consoles. Steam is the best platform in video games by a country mile. It is so easy to buy things. It is so straightforward. Everything is there. There's no fucking around with different memberships. There's nothing. Now that we've seen games like Overwatch, like all the Blizzard games, kind of come across to using Steam, and more games be available directly through Steam, I think this is a great time for them to do this and a great time for them to release it. As long as it is as powerful as they say. I will say the 512 gigabyte model, that doesn't sound like it's going to be worth it. It sounds very small in today's gaming ecosystem.
Unless there's some sort of expandable memory.
Yeah, 100%. So I'd be very interested to see the price difference between the two different memory sizes. Yeah, other than that, I think it's a great time for them to do this, and yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, it just it's really interesting that they've obviously decided to come out of the blue with a device like this, I guess. Also, I guess on the back of Microsoft kind of going the opposite way as well, like of distancing themselves from creating their own box or device, or like partnering with other companies to make their own. What I guess what Steam did originally with the Steam machine, like got third parties to like kind of make it to kind of have similar specs and that kind of stuff for the Steam OS. But yeah, I mean, if you want to make PC gaming as easy as possible, and like I guess I believe they would have data about maybe the number of people who play their Steam Deck docked or stuff like that, stuff like that justifies the creation or release of something like this. How much would you be willing to pay for a Steam machine? $1,000?
I'd go all the way up to like
1.5.
Yeah, because if we're setting the Steam Deck coming in at $900 to $1,000 for like the middle of the road version, I think the low end version was what, $700. I could see it getting all the way up to
I'm looking here. Vice claims to have said that it's looking to be over $1,000 US. Which should be maybe closer to 2.
Scary.
1.5 to 2.
Yeah, it's going to be scary for us.
I mean, that's probably why they've got that low storage version, just try and get people in the door.
Price down as much as
possible. Just the people who are going to install Stardew Valley and maybe some smaller games, not try and play Battlefield 6.
Dispatch.
On this console. Quite an interesting announcement. Then they also announced the Steam Frame. This is a new wireless VR headset that is lightweight and far more compact, offering looks to prioritize ease of use over all else, with camera tracking removing the need for sensors and a wireless adapter removing the need for cords that will either get in your way or have you planted on your face. The headset will feature what Valve is calling it foveated streaming, which uses eye tracking to improve the visual quality of whatever you're directly looking at, creating a sharper image in that area. The headset will ship with 2 Steam Frame controllers that are equipped with all of the features and you would expect from a VR headset. Steam Frame will also be available to run certain games natively, as it runs SteamOS and comes packed with 16 gig of RAM in order to play games directly from the headset. This seems like the actual first competitor to the latest Oculus. I can't remember what it's called. The wireless Oculus. Because I don't think there's many other wireless VR headsets in this market, which is, still trying to push it.
Still doing this. It's very weird. It's very interesting. It's interesting to see a studio, not a studio, but like a developer take on the leap to go into VR again. People are not giving up on this medium. I still think there's a long way to go before it can be a mainstream form of gaming. The worthwhile games to play on VR yearly is still only a handful, if getting in terms of some years fewer than they have been previous. So realistically, I think every year there's only been 1 or 2 big titles that are kind of people will want to play on VR, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Steam has in their back pocket, if there is another Half-Life Alyx in their back pocket for them to bring out onto this thing or not.
MetaQuest is the one that I'm thinking of. I mean, obviously, again, Valve has been a studio that's like been pushing VR and like been big proponents of it, and there is a very dedicated community around VR games. I feel like obviously, there was what was it? The Asgard's Wrath 2 was a big deal last year.
It was.
I've been seeing a big push for this new version of Demio that's Dungeons and Dragons tie-in. There are big proponents of VR and obviously dedicated enough community. I'm sure they are enough people who have bought the Steam VR headset previously that they reckon they can get to double dip with something maybe a little bit wireless or a little bit more compact, making it easy to play Beat Saber and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's cool, I guess. Definitely is not going to get me on the train, but good option there. Finally, we got the Steam controller. Much like the Steam controller, we've seen Valve take a swing at the controller in the past with mixed results. This new Steam controller appears to be a significant improvement, albeit with an unusual form factor. Thumb and The button and thumb layout takes the symmetrical PlayStation approach, but it's what's beneath the traditional two joysticks, 4 face buttons, and a D-pad that makes this controller stand out visually. Bringing a bit of that Steam Deck design across. The Steam controller features 2 trackpads directly below the thumbsticks, letting players control an on-screen cursor without the need for a mouse. It will, in theory, allow you to play just about anything, even if it doesn't support controller commands. But it does make the handset look a bit cumbersome. The controller also features rumble support, magnetic thumb sticks, gyro controls, and 4 back buttons. Is this a controller that you'll be purchasing?
I need to find a way to get my hands on this controller before I make a final decision on it, because at the minute it just looks uncomfortable. Like it just
It does.
doesn't, like the space to put like the inside of your fingers like on each arm of the controller looks tiny because of the extra space that those trackpads take up. So I'd have to get my hands on it, play with it a little bit to actually work out if it's any good or not.
Feel like it's you're either going to feel cramped because the thumbsticks are a little bit higher than they are on other controllers, or it's going to be very heavy. It's going to feel like a Duke, you know?
Yeah, like it's like, is it? Yeah, well, I think there's so much to this. You look at it, and especially even like I hadn't read that there was 4 back buttons on it. I'm like, fuck me. There's also back buttons I'm going to be hitting on the back of it. Like, it feels like at some point you're doing too much with the controller, because I think we're at a point nowadays, other than maybe like the odd like real-time strategy game or maybe MMOs and stuff like that. Majority of games on Steam are going to be controller enabled or have a controller function. So I think there's too much of an effort to be like, hey, we're gonna chuck all this stuff on this, or you know,
Yeah.
or
Everybody loves the trackpads on Steam Deck.
yeah, I barely use mine.
So yeah, I mean, you know, it's great that there's still being some competition in the hardware space, I guess. But yeah, I don't think many people are going to be picking up the Steam controller, except maybe the most diehard Steam fans.
Yeah,
But we'll see. We'll wait and see what the pricing is on the Steam machine, on the Steam frame. How easily available are they going to be? Are they just going to be available through the Steam store, or are they going to go through?
I think they'll be through the Steam
Retailers.
store again. Nah, I think
Yeah?
they'll be through the Steam store again. I think it'll be much the same as the Steam Deck. They've proven now with the Steam Deck that
Just
people
cut out
will
the middleman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I guess we'll wait and see on that front. Reading from this little website called explosionnetwork.com, Horizon Steel Frontiers announced as an MMORPG for mobile and PC. Following a long line of rumors for at least a couple of years, the MMO set in the world of Guerrilla Games' Horizon series has been revealed and is titled Horizon Steel Frontiers. The news broke on Thursday thanks to a video published early and The Verge picking it up. However, the game has now received an official reveal. Horizon Steel Frontiers is being developed by NCSoft, a Korean developer, in partnership with Sony. The revealed video shows the cinematic before actual gameplay, and developers talk about the inspiration and ideas behind the MMORPG. The game was first developed for the mobile, with a PC release also coming, as is the case with most MMORPGs these days. The gameplay is structured around big fights with the machines, and in some respects, it reminds me of the Monster Hunter series, as one of the developers discusses strategy and your role in the fights. There are some other cool things. For instance, it seems the pullcaster can now be used to swing your character through the air. Horizon Steel Frontiers takes place in a region called the Deathlands, which is apparently inspired by Arizona and New Mexico. Here, your player character will be teaming up with other players, all hunting for resources in a familiar-looking location full of animal-inspired machines. There's a lot that will look familiar and exciting to fans of the Horizon franchise, while some elements, in particular the character design, stand out as the series is developed under a new team. The customization of your character includes being able to adjust their makeup, a detail that you wouldn't expect in a Horizon game, or something that players would even think about really. But nonetheless, it's here, and the whole vibe of the characters, or at least the female ones seen in the video, for a better or worse term, very yassified. I can't picture them standing next to Aloy or any of the characters from the main game and having it feel normal. Kieran, have you watched some of this footage? And
I have. To be honest, this just feels like Sony trying to get a bag of money. Like there's been a lot of like recently I read a Reddit article about the League of Legends, not Wild Rift, but a studio attempted to purchase the League of Legends IP for a mobile game or a mobile version of the MOBA previously, and then they kind of missed out on that. And I can't remember what the game's name is now, but it's kind of huge now, and people are talking about how much of a missed thing that is. And I feel like that is the case that's going on with mobile games since kind of the rise of your Arknights, your Genshin Impacts and stuff like that. Is okay, let's get ourselves an IP and we can just pump out a mobile gaming guys. And to be honest with you, you and me, we're not the target audience for this game.
No.
This game's going to be fucking massive in China. This is going to be so fucking big in China because mobile gaming is so huge in China in general. So our voice, our opinion on this probably isn't mattering too much in terms of the big scale of things. I do, from an outset, from a Western point of view, this is just, Sony trying to cash in on that bag. This game isn't going to be important for the Horizon franchise. It's not going to be relevant if you need to have played this to get information for other games. I couldn't think of anything worse than playing a PC game that's made also to run on mobile, that a mechanic in it is also grappling and swinging through the air. Like, I could not think of any. I already can imagine how
anything
horrible,
complex.
Yeah, anything complex is just the frame rate's gonna look crap. This game is. Yeah, this game, like, that's the thing, right? Is that this game, with or without the Horizon IP, was probably going to come out. It's just the fact that Sony jumped on board and said, "Yeah, right, slap the IP on it."
I'm pretty sure Sony's in the process of suing someone who's made a game.
Yes,
like this
100%. Yes,
that looks exactly like Horizon. So
yeah,
I mean, it looks fine. It kind of is what we've been rumored about for a long time. A Monster Hunter Wilds or Monster Hunter-esque game set in the world of Horizon. I guess I was kind of surprised that Guerrilla is not involved in any way. It's like very much another studio taking the reins and kind of having, I guess, free reign to a certain extent to do their own thing or set up this own world. And like, I mean, obviously, again, Western world is not big mobile video game players, but I can see it making sense in the East where mobile phone consumption is massive. That's why any single anime IP is currently getting a video game adaptation. It seems like so we got the Solo Leveling video game coming up. Just scrolling through Instagram, I've got hit with a Blue Lock game, and
I was just about to bring that up as well. I've had Blue Lock come up on my feeds lately as well.
Wow, that was
quick.
quick.
A Bleach one that's just come out. Yeah, it's
Bleach, and it is surprising. Obviously, it's coming to PC, it's coming to mobile. Surprising it isn't coming to PlayStation. Just assuming it's just going to be a free to play, gotcha kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'm actually surprised how close to the art style of Horizon is kind of going for, because I do recall like a more, what's the word, Fortnite-ified version of Horizon characters and monsters, in like some sort of stills or leaks or whatever from back in the day, and this looks nothing like that. So, I guess Monster Hunter like games are a pretty big hit in Japan and China and that kind of stuff, so it makes sense, and I'm sure it will get some level of success, but don't know if we'll be playing it over here very much. But yeah, good on them for expanding their IPs, I guess. I mean, they did. We all know Sony in the past said they want to get more into the mobile phone space, so it makes sense to use one of the biggest IPs at the moment. So.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. PlayStation. Speaking of PlayStation, they had a big state of play. Unfortunately, this one. Oh, well, not unfortunately, but this one was predominantly focused on Japanese games. The presentation was almost entirely in Japanese with weird. It's weird. It was focused on Japanese, but then there was English voiceover in some of the trailers. But then they had a Japanese presenter interviewing devs in between. Just commit to one thing, I guess.
Yes.
Lots of interest. like bunch of interesting titles, but I just want to highlight a couple of things. Prominently, some things that came at the end of the showcase. Octopath Traveler 0 has now got a demo, which you can all play. Prologue, I think it's about the first 3 hours apparently, and your save file can carry over. Of course, that game is coming in the next couple of weeks on December 4th. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is advertising an upcoming closed beta that you can apply for. This one will let you play as Ghost Rider and Spider-Man. And they also have a little bit of a look at the new X-Men Mansion map. So that closed beta will be from December 5th to December 7th. They seem to highlight that there will be no stoppages, which apparently was a thing that happened on the last closed beta. It was like they stopped the beta for a while at points.
Yes. Yeah.
So like it's going to be 72 hours non-stop.
Whoa.
Like, okay, that's what most closed betas like, but okay. And then I guess the only big interesting reveal from this state of play, the next, the first DLC for Elder Night Reign, the Forsaken Hollows, which was revealed, showing some new monsters and locations, and is set to be released December 4th. Is surprised we're getting DLC for Night Reign, I guess. Really close.
Not really. I think this game has as with all live service games, this game has a timer on it of how long it's going to be. I think unlike any Dark Souls game ever, there is going to be a point in history where people can no longer play Night Reign, and so I think they're getting into it. They're getting DLC out. They're getting content out. It's good that it's being supported. It's good that it's being built upon. I'm interested to see how long it lasts and how long until they kind of scale back their work on it to start working on whatever's coming next for the teams.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like nobody's been talking about this game recently, so for it to get another bit of a boost, good for them. It's so close to the year, throwing everybody's end of year plans out in.
I'm surprised that they've announced it beforehand. They're not just like dropping it like a
shadow drop,
or something, or like a shadow dropping.
It's like Jeff is like kicking himself. It's like, why couldn't you wait? The other thing they announced during the showcase was a gaming monitor. Of course, they're going to release a 27-inch gaming monitor, which has a built-in DualSense charging hook. Of course, it's currently only going to release in Japan and the US. I guess it's interesting to me on the back of some of the other announcements they've been making with the speakers.
Yeah, the speakers.
Week.
Yeah,
and obviously a little bit of a push towards like PC gamers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A device like this, is it like they're pushing for like dorm room players or players who are like only playing in their room? Or...
Yeah. I think they're trying to expand to. I guess for so long, and the generalized view of a PlayStation console is hooked up to a TV.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of big screen TV or whatever side TV you can get a hold of,
yes.
and your PC and your console. So I guess they're moving it now to a desk format where you can buy a monitor for it, kind of trying to just shape the accessibility for other forms of play for the PlayStation.
Yeah, very interesting. Like, it's a cool idea of like having this little hook that pops down for you to charge your DualSense. But it's pretty clear in hindsight. This is kind of this direction they've been pushing for, like people who don't necessarily have access to the big TV to play their PlayStation to have something in their room or like somewhere private to do the gaming, and like probably a little bit competing with PC gaming to an extent, like for space within your room, I guess.
Yeah. Or I guess it depends on the monitor as well. If the monitor is if the monitor is good enough to be using with your PC as well at the same time.
Yeah. Because I think it's interesting, like the number of kids who now grow up without a desktop PC and like a laptop is their gaming PC.
I also think it's interesting. Like, sorry, did it say the specs on the screen? Like what?
27-inch. That was it.
27-inch. Because I'd be very interested to see what the hertz for that screen's going to be, right? Because the most a PlayStation will ever possibly potentially take use of is like 120, which is a solid TV if they even do that.
Well, my guess would be they'd be wanting something affordable.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then if that's the thing, most PC gamers will not want that because they will want a higher, like it'd be interesting to see where in the market they're targeting.
Sony announced the 240 hertz PlayStation monitor,
which is hilarious because their PlayStation will never take use of that. Like their PlayStation itself would never, that's quite funny. So it's an interest that shows that they do want people to make that purchase rather than purchasing a different monitor for their PC. So they can purchase that monitor for their PC and their PlayStation at the same time and have a little hook for their.
Yeah. The screen itself supports 250 hertz when hooked up to a PC. According to Sony, supports a refresh rate of 120 hertz when connected to a PS5 console. Yeah, very interesting. They continue like push into new spaces for these consoles. Like obviously, Xbox is everything's in Xbox, and now PlayStation like kind of pushing in this PC space.
I would say PlayStation is doing it in a very different way, where they want to be hardware. They don't want to so much push.
They still want to sell you stuff.
Yeah, they still want to sell you stuff. They don't want to, they're still reluctant to put their games on Steam. They're still, they're not putting a PlayStation fucking, like Xbox has their Xbox app on your PC. You're not going to get the PlayStation app where all your PlayStation games are accessible to play on your PC. They're still trying to sell you stuff as hardware as part of that to make the most of it.
Last little tidbit of news this week is a little bit of disappointing news. Mixtape has been delayed till 2026. Melbourne-based developer and Dinosaur's upcoming Mixtape has been delayed into 2026, with the team sharing the news on social media saying Mixtape is almost complete. We just put the knobs on it. We're just putting the knobs on it. See it in 2026. How much do you feel like Dylan playing the game and him liking it affected it?
No, not Dylan. It's Hideo.
Yeah, Kojima play it. Got somebody else to play it.
Kojima got somebody else to play it while Kojima watched. Kojima probably had like advice.
They only put one thumbs up, I believe. They were going for two. So
yeah. So I blame Kojima.
Pushing all games back.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to talking about big video game that we've been playing over the last 4 weeks. Dispatch, the first game from Adult Studios, a studio made up predominantly of former Telltale writers and employees, revolving around the former superhero working at a superhero dispatch center, sending out heroes to solve problems for people who are opposed to the network. Very much also a choose your own adventure story in this line of Telltale games. Obviously, we were very high on the first 2 episodes when they dropped a few weeks ago. If you listened all the way to the end of last week's episode, we were both crushed by how episode 6 ended. Kieran, did this game get better? Did it stay at the same level? Did it? How are you feeling about Dispatch now that you played all of it?
You know what's really fucking nice? And I was out of us at the Explosion Network. I was so high in this game. I was so excited for this game for the moment it was first shown at the video game, the Game Awards. Like I was in. I was so. It's so fucking nice for a game to stick the landing, because like you already had that thought in the back of your mind. Fuck, this is going too. They're gonna fucking fuck this up at the end. And no, they fucking landed it. They did a really good job. They incorporated a lot into the game that made it feel like your choices had a lot of consequences towards the end. So my favorite thing this week of being part of conversations with people about how their game ended and what their choices were, and I think it was absolutely fantastic. Like I couldn't, we've had it. There's been more dev interviews come out in the last week about how close Ad Hoc was to bankruptcy before during the pandemic, and when they agreed to work on Wolf Among Us Part 2, and that fell through with Telltale, and then it was actually thanks to the team at Critical Role of coming in and supporting them and backing them to get this game out, and now we have one of the best gaming experiences of the year. This was 8 fucking awesome episodes of exceptional content, great characters, beautiful scenery, fantastic soundtrack that I think is not talked about enough because I am absolutely loving the soundtrack to that game. Yeah, I think there's not enough positives that can be said about Dispatch and how special it is. And I hope in, a month's time at the Game Awards where Jeff Keighley comes out and they have an announcement of like a boss rush style or like a style of the dispatching game where you can just play that over and over, because that is my only detractor from this game. Is like, man, I wish I could just play that more. Or like, once I understood and like kind of I got my head around it, I wish I could just play that more and just get better and better and improve using the team. Yeah, I absolutely adore Dispatch. If you haven't gone out and play it, go buy it. It's such a fantastic game. It's such a special game this year.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best gaming experiences or gaming stories that I've had experienced in ages. Like it's right up there with Spider-Man 2 as like one of the best, or the Spider-Man Marvel Spider-Man games is like top tier superhero video game content. I think it's just the writing is so incredible, and the way that it kind of weaves and is like, it's like I guess I was kind of surprised by how adult it was, like going into it. Like, sure, there's like swearing and like the fucks and dick jokes and juvenile humor that we all enjoy, but then there's fucking nudity and like really adult like issues and that kind of stuff dealt with. Yeah, this felt like, I think, like we said, this is what we would always hope Telltale would become, and like an experience like this is like the next level of what is capable for this genre of games. This this level of storytelling, the level of animation that we're able to get in this. The performances, I think, across the board are fantastic. Like, it's crazy to think they got a whole bunch of not top level professional voice actors in to do a bunch of roles,
content
but
creators that, maybe the first episode I was like, fuck, I'm hearing Alana Pierce, I'm hearing Jacksepticeye, I'm hearing Moist Critical, I'm hearing Young Gravy, but then quickly after, they're just embodying those characters and they're not out of place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think everybody did like a super stellar job, and like really happy. Like, I'm really happy with how my run went, the choices I made, and that kind of stuff. But then I'm also like, kind of want to go back and find. Oh, I don't know if I'll play the game, but like watch other people to like make other choices and like, see what the branching paths of that kind of stuff are. Because I've seen the endings. Like, there's very, very vast differences between a couple of choices.
Which makes the thought of there being a season 2 of this game makes me go, well, fuck, they can't do the same story because the endings are so fucking.
It would be like
different.
Another level of writing that you would need to do to.
Yeah, you need to write 2 games
to bring it back into kind of some sort of. I mean, it's much in the same way that the end of the second Batman Telltale game is like, fuck, how are they going to do another season?
Yeah,
and the answer is they never will.
No, exactly.
But yeah, I really enjoyed all the aspects. I think the really interesting thing is, obviously, we thoroughly enjoyed like the dispatching elements and like the kind of the figuring out what each mission required, and then like also choosing which stats to put people and that kind of stuff. That was all very enjoyable. The hacking was fine, but I also appreciated that was something that they switched up constantly.
I actually think the only problem I had with the hacking, it was I saw it pointed out in some comments somewhere I read. The problem with the hacking isn't that the hacking games are bad; it's that you just don't get long enough with them.
Yeah, you have to figure it out on the fly really quick.
You have to figure it out on the fly. Every episode has a new version of it. The only hacking mini game that I fucking hated and I could not get my head around was the waveforms. The waveforms, I just could not understand how to get it.
You looked around. You just walked around the entire single grid.
I just kept walking around until it said, "Oh, you're getting hotter," and then I would keep walking around that area
until it looks right. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like there was no thought behind that one. But yeah, I just think that's a case of just you don't get enough opportunity and time to get used to them, and they're swapping every time. So, yeah, it's my only gripe with the hacking ones.
One of my favorite things is obviously we really enjoyed the dispatching element, but I also love that in episode, I think it's episode 7, like the dispatching is used as like this narrative tool to tell you everything about the characters in the world at that exact point of time. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, like it's so funny that the narrative device that is used throughout dispatching fills in little kind of moments. Like you find out how close Malevola is with Sonar before anything in the main story is.
Mhm.
You find out little bits that signal to Coop and Punch Up being in a relationship. You find out that Flambe lives with Coop. Like it is. Yeah, it's so well used to build up that team dynamic and make you care about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of want to go into spoilers. Do you want to talk about your
Yeah,
favorite
sure.
moments from the story?
Sure.
If you haven't played Dispatch, this is the end of the episode. Just stop listening or go ahead and listen to our outro in the show notes if you want to see what shenanigans we get up to. But yes, we will dive now into spoilers for Dispatch. Who did you end up with, Kieran?
I ended up with Blonde Blazer. She was number one from the start. I was in like the 27% or whatever the fucking minority was for Blonde Blazer. Yeah,
It's
Blonde Blazer,
so surprising that the split is so large, I guess.
I'd understand it. You spend more time with Invisigirl. Invisigirl, you I think they do more of a job of pushing you towards Invisigirl.
Making her a more rounded character rather than
no, but
this
no. Difference
that you
is,
come in
and I've read this. I've read this as a thing. So Blonde Blazer's story, like once you've gone on the date with Blonde Blazer, you spend the rest of the time with Invisigirl kind of pining over you a little bit, and like the party scene is full of her like long, like kind of
longingly
dejectedly
looking, yes.
staring at you dancing with Blonde Blazer and having moments with Blonde Blazer. Where apparently on the other end of it, if you went with Invisigirl from that
there was
point,
nothing.
Blonde Blazer's like, hey, cool, I took my shot, didn't work, cool, we'll just be friends and we'll be professional, and she steps back. Where Invisigirl, because she is this probably a bit more immature as a person, she continues to have that. And I will say, like, I wanted to go with Invisigirl. Like I want to play through a second playthrough where I go that route. There's the kiss in the locker room. Boy, oh boy, was that a hard decision at the time where I was like, fuck, no, Blonde Blazer is my girl. She is my number one. She is my ride or die. I'm going with that for this playthrough. Yeah, I think it's such an interesting, I think, yes, people go, oh, Invisigirl's always pining over you and she's always trying. But I'm like, yeah, but that's also the same thing. Like that is her immaturity kind of showing a little bit compared to Blonde Blazer, who, Blonde Blazer's like, oh.
You just want to redeem women.
I just want to fix her.
Oh God, yes, just want to fix her.
Just want to fix her.
That's what everyone wants. Yeah. A woman to fix.
Yep.
It's very funny because obviously I saw like an article like that people were upset with Invisigirl in the game because her look is very much almost like
Vi from fucking Arcane King. Yeah, I saw this and I was like, the fuck. And even
really.
like the ad hoc people came out in interviews this week and said, hey, we were designing her character before Arcane came out. Like,
it's like girl with a pixie cut. Okay, there's a lot of those with jacket. That was really cool. I mean, the end of episode 6, like obviously with Chase.
Oh, but then also calling back to that in the flashback in episode 7. Of them when they were younger and like building up that relationship and further showing that Chase was like a brother to him. I will say the only maybe misstep was like it would have been okay if they'd let Chase die. I think, and this is the other thing.
There is a little like out of nowhere, like Blonde Blazer.
No, so it's not out of no. So this is the thing, right? Not out of nowhere if you chose Blonde Blazer.
Okay.
Because on the date, she shows you that the amulet is the source of her power, and that she is like brunette, and she like is shorter and everything. She shows you that. So when that reveal happens at that point, I'm like, oh fuck, okay, that makes sense. A little bit of a Deus Machina, but sure, cool, I get that. That's cool. Whatever, we still at Chase. But yeah, now I've heard people talk about this, being like, "Whoa, that's so out of nowhere." I'm like, no. It just is out of nowhere.
We just didn't make the effort to learn about Blonde Blazer.
You just didn't get that section of the story revealed to you earlier. yeah, I think it is where the iterations of the different decisions come from is 100% where, and that's the thing where maybe they should have worked if that was going to be such a vital part of that outcome for the story, no matter which
I
storyline is.
guess
They
you didn't want to
probably
foreshadow it too much, I guess.
yes, 100%. With it, I think. But then also, like, fuck me, the Matthew Mercer, what a fucking voice actor! Like. For a lot of it, you go, oh, okay, Shroud has not been in this game very much at all. He's
No.
not spoken. Yada yada. This could just be a very bland, generic feel in it. And in like the 2 episodes he really gets to, he is such a presence, even though the character itself is not that imposing, is kind of like has this mask or whatever, but his voice, his immediate presence, even him in the bar is like, holy fucking shit. I don't know if you glassed the bartender who was like talking shit about Blonde Blazer
No,
or
I
not.
didn't.
I didn't either, which was so much cooler because Shroud shoots him. Like it's like it is such a big thing, and yeah, having that bar scene and then I guess the bar fight scene earlier in the season, like the with the Z team, that whole section,
That
even
whole
before
sequence,
that,
very
you
cool.
know, from that we get Flambe singing I'm a bitch about Robert
About
Robertson,
Robert.
which there is a full recorded version of that song on
Yeah, over the
Spotify
credits.
over the credits, but you can listen to it on
Oh,
Spotify still. It
I
is
didn't
very
realize
funny.
they released it.
Yeah, they've released it. If you look up there's like the whole Dispatch soundtrack is on Spotify at the moment. It's a very good Spotify
What a
soundtrack.
great piece of writing.
But yeah, no, it is hilarious. I actually surprised how much I love Flambe by the end of it. I found Flambe to maybe be one of my funniest characters by the last episode. He just kept coming out with little one-liners and bits and pieces, and I was like, man, you're just a fucking himbo, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Back Jeffrey Wright, I think fantastic as Chase.
Yes.
Again, I think that moment works because Jeffrey Wright is so fantastic. Like, especially in that episode, like from him being super drunk and like chewing out Vinny's girl through to him kind of apologizing to Robert in the moments before, and then, you know, like you said, keep up. Like,
Keep up, man.
Not knowing what the context is for that.
No, not knowing, and then you hear it and you're like, fuck. And then on top of that, you get Aaron Paul. I think he's fucking amazing as Robert Robertson.
Aaron Paul,
the entire.
How is he not been in a superhero movie? Like, he just delivers such great, like, inspirational speeches throughout this.
Yeah, 100%. He does so many cool things, and it's so great to. I guess they've come at, like, we've seen this superhero team of misfits so many times already. We've seen it with Suicide Squad. We've seen it with Guardians of the Galaxy. But to see it to come from the mentor's point of view, and he himself having to deal with his own demons of his failed career as a superhero, or how it came to an abrupt ending, and trying to rebuild that. Him trying to kind of put value into these misfits over himself. You know, I found it the scene where you have to choose if you are going to cut Vizzy or not with the whole team there. I found that heartbreaking as a scene because I was like, these people are hurting. These people are, and I will say I didn't love the start of the episode of it in terms of how everybody was reacting to Vizzy, and I was like, bruv, if it had been revealed then and there that she had also leaked the information to the villains to get the villains there, that maybe I'd understand why everybody was as pissed off as her. But it's like she was trying to do a good thing. She was trying to help Robert. She was trying.
Yeah, I will say that's another element of the story that was kind of rushed over. Like, her working with Shroud. Like,
yes,
apparently working with Shroud the entire time.
Yes, which is weird. You kind of go, oh, okay, sure.
But also maybe doesn't play weird if you aren't encouraging her.
If you end up with her as a villain, yes, completely understandable. There's, you know, I think especially like that whole end fight scene, like I couldn't talk so much. Like even I don't know which one you cut, but like the moment with Sonar at the end where the whole Z team's like, hey, I know he looks like a bad guy, but he's one of us. Don't put him in cuffs.
You cut Sonar as well.
And I think there's so many little moments of just pure fun and characteristics and just connection with these characters that you do instantly go, fuck, I hope there's another season of this. I hope there's more. I hope they do more with this. That would be so good.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask who you cut, but you answered that. I guess the other question: who'd you recruit? Normal Man or
I
Waterboy?
recruited Waterboy.
Wow.
Waterboy, which I kind of regretted because my Waterboy sucked for the entire time. But
I mean, Phenomenal Man's not a piece of cake either. I mean,
he's not. He gets the bread because that's the thing. I used him during the last mission, and the fact that I got fucked so many times on my boss fights with Sona because midway through somebody else would fail and he
then
would
Phenomenal
dip. He would dip mid, and I'd be like, "Fuck my life, righto." But yeah, yeah, Waterboy was because I was like, I'll give him a shot.
Yeah, Waterboy. Yeah, again, I feel like the dispatching, like that was so fun and rewarding. Like especially going on, I feel like I got better as the series went on, and like I'd like almost ace that last mission, like and getting everybody in the right place and that kind of stuff. And like I felt like I built my characters really well, and like once you figure out the characters' abilities and that kind of stuff, I feel like that was really good. I think the one thing is like there's the synergy kind of thing of when like pair people together often on missions, you like a level up. Yep. I don't know if that was I don't know, leveled correctly. Like it felt like barely any of them towards the end. Like
I got them all the time. I guess it just depends on using.
Like I didn't get any up to like level 3 synergy or anything.
Oh, like I did. I got Flambe and what is it, Neon? No, the girl played by Thought Squad is the I can't remember her name at the moment, and it's real bad. But Prism. Sorry, yes, Flambe and Prism because I use them all the time because they're fucking Flambe's like stats plus her doubling him made it like an instant win no matter what I sent.
I'll tell you what I did hate. I did hate the like auto fail ones where if you
those were really hard because I'd have a bunch of people with like high combat and then it would go to combat and I'd be like, well fuck, I have to
I can't do anything. I have no choice but to either miss this or like fail it automatically. So.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Really great game. Anything else you want to talk about? How many people from this game do you reckon are nominated for voice acting?
Maybe 4?
Out of the 6? 6 nominees, like 4 people from this?
I think it's okay. Let's go with 2. Let's go with Aaron Paul, and I'd have to go Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Only because of fucking Expedition 33 is in this fucking year. Like, there's so many other games this year that have spectacular voice acting that it's going to be this.
Yeah. If you had a wider range, then there would be more people in here from
100%,
the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are probably the top 2, and probably Laura Bailey coming in.
Maybe Laura Bailey is the 3rd, yeah. And then I go on to, I can't remember her name, but play Bomb Blazer as like my
Erin Yvette,
yeah.
Great. Did you have a favorite Z-Team member?
4 missions. Favorite Z-Team member was Coop. I loved Coop. She fucking was really reliable. Maybe character. I love Golem. There's something so about Golem. Young Gravy's capture of it was fucking awesome.
I love the little like the reason, like you know how he's outside the bar at the start in that episode. It was pointed out to me he's only like 20 years old, so he wasn't allowed to get in. That's why he wasn't in.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, did you throw the chair at him or did you?
Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah. And then him in the dispatch section like later is like, oh, because he threw a chair at me. I'm like, oh, you're so good.
So good. And then he's the only one standing up for Visigold.
Yeah, him and Flambe standing up for Visigold. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed them. I mean, Alana's fantastic as well. And like, she's really cool. And her healing abilities very helpful throughout the dispatching.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Her and Waterboy has great healing abilities.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I need to do a Waterboy playthrough. But I will say, I really enjoyed Travis Willingham's Phenomenal Man.
Yes, that's the only thing I want to play. Because if you don't pick him there, he's just not in the game until the last episode.
That's crazy. Because that car scene. Fantastic.
Well, yeah.
I guess she's hoping for season 2.
Yeah, definitely. Though I do think it's either going to be, I'd like it to be them go to maybe a different place and like the Z team and Robert are like mentoring a new group of
it's interesting because I guess technically he's going to be Mecha Man again. You know?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I'd like it to be where he's Mecha Man, but he's also doing this stuff at the same time.
Or maybe they just do a whole nother story without doing the dispatch stuff. I guess, there's
also,
the option.
Yeah, also could be that as well.
I guess the other interesting question is, now that you've seen Ad Hoc Studios doing their thing, what do you think they're doing for Critical Role?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. I'm excited for him to do it.
You don't want to know until they've got it ready.
Because I think they've already said it's nothing to do with like any of the campaigns or anything.
It's probably just
like
set in the world of
it's a new thing set in Exandria. So
Exandria.
That's just exciting to me as it is. So yeah, I'm go for it, boys.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up this week's episode of Arcade Couch. Let us know what you thought of anything we talked about. What did you get out of Dispatch? Did you really enjoy it as much as we did? Let us know on social media by finding us at explosionnetwork.com/follow. If you like this show and would like to support the podcast and the Explosion Network, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support. And I guess we'll see you here next week. Same time, same couch. Bye.